the adventure begin!
Video games. Over the course of their 40-year lifespan, they've grown to become a massively popular and widespread form of entertainment, played by billions of people worldwide. They are the fastest growing entertainment industry today. To understand what a gamer is, you first have to understand what video games are and why we play them. I started gaming when I got my PS1. It was a really fun way to pass the time or to play with friends, and there was nothing else that was really like it. Eventually I got a PS2 and then a PS3, but now I play most of my games on the PC.
Well, from the start, my dad is a little bit of a nerd. He would have the computer and we would sometimes play on it. One of the first games I played would have been Doom, which was, you know, the first really good first-person shooter. We had a PlayStation 1, and then we got a PlayStation 2, and then we got an Xbox 360 for some reason. I don't know. And so there was a bit of console gaming for a period, and then I got back into computer gaming a couple of years ago, and now it's all I generally play.
Well, I guess I grew up in the golden age of gaming. That was the late 80s. All the games were more about gameplay and interaction rather than about graphics or storytelling and stuff like that.
Well, it was a while ago and my dad bought me a PS2 and it came with 4 or 5 games, and one of them was 2 like action adventures. You played dogs and cats and humans and everything, and it was really interesting. Over the years I bought more and more games, different consoles. I was showing them to friends, playing them with friends, and they just really interested me.
There's like a sort of CD of 100 quite small, generally kind of puzzle-based games, and I don't know, eventually somehow I got a turn, and next thing you know, I'm all over it.
It was new to me. I hadn't played any real video games before that, so I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's really fun. Well, I'm mostly playing League of Legends, which is sort of like a, I guess it would be an MMO strategy action game, and a bit of Call of Duty.
I've never been interested in shooting games or car games because they've never had much story. I'm playing a game called Heavy Rain, which is wonderful because the story in it is so in-depth, the graphics on it are amazing, and it's a very sad, happy and scary game. Everyone plays the game differently, and every game triggers an emotion, whether it's happy or sad, and everyone experiences emotion differently, so when you're playing online, it gets very mixed up unless you know who you're playing with, and they're very similar to you.
The thing is that actually what I'm more interested in is the world, like there's one like fantasy more than say a sort of World War II game. It's because I'm more interested in the setting that's been made up or whatever, as opposed to the gameplay or to an extent the plot.
I enjoy RPGs, role-playing games, mostly. It's quite a story-based form of gaming, and increasing your character's stats and levels and stuff, it appeals to me, just increasing incrementally until you're a really strong character. I also enjoy real-time strategies like Age of Empires and Command & Conquer, because they involve, as the name would suggest, strategy, and the better a strategist you are, the more likely it is that you'll win over your opponent.
Well, I play all kinds of games. Not only computer games, but I enjoy sports and all kinds of competitive or collaborative stuff. I don't see there's such a big difference between these games. I don't see that one thing is social or involves sort of running around or something like that, and the other is not. Well, I personally was always interested in multiplayer games. We played gauntlet with 3 people on one computer. That was quite a thing back in the day. When networked games became available, it wasn't quite the same for me. I think I enjoyed being in the same place with people and have the direct interaction with them.
For a group setting, generally it's more fun if you're in the room, and so that's usually that happens with console gaming. Definitely has the potential to be a very sociable activity.
I don't play often without my friends these days. I just find it extremely boring.
Well, people have always thought games were good for something, and they were always wrong. Famously for military training, for instance, or Formula 1 drivers use driving simulators to learn the tracks or test the cars or whatever. But on the other hand, people don't start shooting other people because they played a first-person shooter. Of course not.
I've seen people who can pick up games almost immediately. It doesn't matter really if you have a gaming background or not. It's more how you can interact with the game.
I believe we're all playing. We're not necessarily playing the same games, of course, but being a human, I believe you have to play. And you want to play.